We all know that exercise benefits our bodies in numerous ways. It improves our cardiovascular system, it strengthens our bones, it enhances our hormonal profile, and helps us to build strength and muscle. But what about its impact on our brains? Does it make it bigger, stronger, and more efficient, just like the rest of the body? Let's explore. In my family, we have a history of neurodegenerative diseases. My grandfather, who passed away a couple of years ago, he had dementia, and my other grandfather, he has a Parkinson's disease. Early in my career as a fitness professional, I didn't fully understand how exercise can impact cognitive health and how it can delay the onset of such diseases. Only I had heard that there were boxing classes designed particularly for patients with Parkinson's, and how that many people have seen success to help them to delay the development of the disease. That grabbed my interest, and I got curious how exercise can improve cognitive health and help people improve their health span and help people live healthier, happier, and more independent for a longer time. Despite my predispositions to such conditions due to my family history, to spice things up for my brain, in my early teenage years, I decided to enroll in kickboxing and compete. Over my career, I completed 25 fights on tournaments. I did countless amount of sparring sessions on practice. And of course, I received a fair amount of punches in my face. Unfortunately, that doesn't make things prettier for my brain. However, I am curious what we can all do to keep our brain resilient and keep it as sharp as possible for a long time. The brain is one of the most complex areas that could be studied. It is also often referred as the most complex subject in the known universe. The brain has about 100 billion brain cells, also known as neurons. Each neuron is going to have thousands of connections to other neurons by using synapses to help them to communicate with each other. Not that long ago, a little was known how exercise can impact cognitive health, and even it was thought that there's nothing that we can do to delay or prevent neurodegenerative diseases. Fortunately, thanks to a lot of recent research and a lot of scientists' work, now we understand the brain much better, and we know what we can do to keep our cognitive health and keep our brain functional for as long as possible. In 2019, Wall Street Journal published an article that outlines what each of us can do to improve our cognitive health and possibly decline any cognitive decline. Those suggestions include blood pressure control, exercise, nutrition, sleep, and cognitive training. In Dr. Kristen Willemer's book, Biohack Your Brain, she highlights that many of us are going to experience cognitive decline as we age. She emphasizes that it's never too late to start adopting healthy habits to improve your brain health, and there's no better time than now. In her book, she shares the practical steps that are based on the research that she has done and on her work with NFL athletes, what each of us can do to improve our cognitive health. Those strategies include exercise, nutrition, cognitive training, hydration, stress management, sleep, and supplements. While all of those are important for cognitive health, today's video mainly is going to focus on how exercise impacts your brain. Now let's take a look at what are the beneficial processes that take place in your brain as you exercise. Regular physical activity is going to enhance synaptic plasticity. This is the ability of the synapses to strengthen or weaken over time. This is crucial for learning and memory, and also is going to help the brain to stay functional even if it undergoes any neurodegenerative changes. It has been shown that exercise is going to promote the growth of new neurons, particularly in the hippocampus area, which is a region of the brain that is associated with memory and learning. This process is vital for preserving cognitive health. As you exercise, that is also is going to increase the blood flow to your brain, ensuring that the brain receives adequate amount of oxygen and nutrients. That is going to help with preserving brain health, and then also is going to delay or prevent any cognitive decline. Exercise also is going to lower neuroinflammation, a factor that is associated with neurodegenerative diseases. By lowering inflammation, that is going to protect neurons and also is going to support overall brain health. Exercise also increases the levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, also known as BDNF, which is a protein that supports the growth, maintenance, and survival of the neurons. Higher BDNF levels have been shown to help with cognitive function and also neuroprotection. Okay, now you might be asking, what type of exercise should I do to receive those brain benefits? Is the strength training the best way to improve your cognitive health? Or how about if you receive any benefit from aerobic training, or maybe working on your balance and stability? Or what is the benefit from high intensity training to your brain? While research shows that all of the above are going to be beneficial for brain health, I think it's important to mention that any physical activity is going to support cognitive health. Just like Dr. Wendy Suzuki says, every drop of sweat is going to count towards your brain. Even just going outside for a short walk is going to make your brain happy. Okay, let's start with aerobic training. After reading how aerobic training benefits our brain, that reminded me to start including a couple of cardio routines on a weekly basis. I love strength training, and ever since I stopped training competitively, I've been leaning more and more towards lifting weights. However, after reading how cardio benefits our brain, that motivated me to take a more well-rounded approach towards cognitive health. Activities such as biking, swimming, and running, they are going to help with neuroplasticity, are going to increase BDNF levels. They're also going to support the growth of new neurons and synapses. Also, cardio is going to make your heart bigger and stronger. The more efficient the heart is, that means it's going to better deliver oxygen, nutrients, and blood to your brain. Also, it's been shown that strength training positively impacts the brain. It's going to increase the BDNF levels, improve executive function, and improve the connectivity and the structure of the brain. Also, it's going to lower inflammation and decrease insulin resistance, which are all beneficial for healthy brain. Next, we're going to discuss high-intensity training. Dr. Rhonda Patrick, she popularized the idea that high-intensity training has unique benefits to your brain. During high-intensity training, your body is going to produce lactate, which is a byproduct of metabolic stress. And the lactate can cross the blood-brain barrier, and which can trigger beneficial adaptations. Lactate can be used by neurons as a preferred source of energy, which can improve the function of the brain with more focus and attention. It also signals the brain to produce more BDNF, promoting the growth of new neurons and enhancing neuroplasticity. Cross-body exercises, where you move one arm with opposite leg simultaneously, are known to engage both hemispheres of the brain, which can enhance neuroconnectivity. This is increased engagement of the brain can possibly increase cognitive functions, such as problem-solving, memory, and focus. By stimulating brain activity and improving the coordination between both sides of the brain. Balance exercises have been shown that improve cognitive functions such as memory, attention, and spatial awareness. These exercises require focus, coordination, and proprioception by engaging the brain and supporting overall cognitive health. Additionally, balance training is going to reduce the risk of falls, is going to promote better physical health, and can also slow down the cognitive decline, particularly in older adults. In the book Outlive by Dr. Peter Attia, he highlights the importance of building cognitive reserve and how that has been shown to help people to resist symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. This is achieved by developing new complex skills over our lifetime via education and experience, or by learning how to speak a new foreign language, or playing a musical instrument. He also emphasizes on the benefits of building movement reserve and how that can be beneficial, particularly for patients with Parkinson's disease. It has been shown that active people tend to resist or delay the progression of the disease as compared to sedentary people. This is why movement and movement exercise, particularly more complex activities, for example boxing, are so helpful prevention strategies for Parkinson's. In conclusion, I would like to encourage everyone to make the time to be physically active, because every single cell in your body is going to thank you for that. Remember, one small step today can lead to big changes tomorrow.